Ladies and gentlemen, there are seasons in life when God does his greatest work in the places no one else can see. You may be wondering why your life feels hidden, why your progress feels slow, why your prayers seem unanswered. But hear me, dark is not a punishment. It is a process. The dark is not where you are forgotten. It is where you are being formed. Every seed begins unseen, buried, uncelebrated. But just because a seed is hidden does not mean it is dead. It means it is becoming. It means God is working beneath the surface, stretching roots, strengthening foundation, preparing capacity. There are moments when God pulls you away from the noise so he can speak to you without interruption. There are seasons when he isolates you not to abandon you, to grow you away from the eyes of people who might misunderstand the miracle he is building within you. Growth is uncomfortable. Development requires darkness. Transformation demands secrecy. You cannot emerge in the light until you have been strengthened in the shadows. And sometimes God will allow people to overlook you, misunderstand you, or walk away from you. Not because you are unworthy, because your development is sacred. You may feel hidden, but you are not forgotten. You may feel buried, but you are not broken. You may feel alone. Heaven is working overtime on your behalf. God does not expose what he has not already established. He does not reveal what he has not already fortified. So if he still has you in the dark, it means the masterpiece is not finished yet. The dark season is where your endurance is built. It's where your faith grows teeth. It's where God teaches you to trust him when nothing makes sense, when the path is unclear, when the promise looks impossible. Because once you learn to trust him in the dark, no light can blind you, no storm can shake you, no enemy can intimidate you. Your destiny requires depth, and depth is developed in private. Purpose needs pressure. Greatness needs time. Oil is crushed before it pours. Diamonds are formed in hidden places. Gold is refined in fire. You are being shaped, strengthened, purified, prepared. So don't curse the dark, rush the process. Don't despise these silent seasons. God is working where you cannot see. And when the time is right, he will bring you into the light, not fragile, not insecure, not unfinished, but ready, mature, grounded, powerful, and absolutely unshakable. There are moments in life when everything feels still, silent, and strangely hidden. You look around and nothing seems to move. Doors stay closed. Prayers seem unanswered. Opportunities appear distant. You begin to wonder if you've done something wrong, if you've missed your moment, if somehow you have fallen out of God's view. But what you may not realize is that this quiet, uncertain, almost suffocating season is not a curse. It is not punishment. It is not abandonment. It is divine strategy. The darkness you fear may very well be the very environment God chooses to develop you in. Often associate darkness with danger, confusion, or loss. But spiritually, darkness is the birthplace of transformation. Every important formation in life starts in a dark place. The womb is dark, yet that is where life begins. The soil is dark, yet that is where the seed breaks open. The night is dark, yet that is where strength is restored. Darkness is not always the evidence of trouble. Sometimes it is the evidence of a God who is still working. When God leads you into a season of obscurity, it is because he is preparing to build something in you that cannot be rushed or easily seen. In the dark, he separates you from the opinions that could distract you, from the voices that could mislead you, and from the expectations that could crush you. God is not hiding you from your purpose. He is hiding you for your purpose. He knows that some developments are too delicate for public exposure. Some growth requires silence. Some breakthroughs are so sacred that they must be shielded until they are strong enough to survive the light. The dark season is where God does his most intimate work. This is where he trims what is unnecessary, strengthens what is weak, and heals what has been broken. It's where he builds character, conviction, discipline, and spiritual maturity. It is the quiet classroom where you learn lessons that can't be taught in times of celebration. You learn how to trust without clarity, how to believe without evidence, how to walk without visibility. You learn how to wait, how to endure, how to grow, and how to surrender. These are not lessons learned in the sunshine. They are learned when you are surrounded by uncertainty, when the path is not clear, the answers are not obvious. You may feel like the silence is suffocating you. You may feel like the progress is invisible. You may feel isolated and overlooked. But what if this isolation is God protecting your development? What if every closed door is God preventing you from being exposed before you are ready? What if every delay is divine timing working in your favor? What if the darkness is not a prison but a preparation room? In this hidden season, God is stretching you, not to break you, but to strengthen you. Stretching roots underground might be invisible, but they are necessary for the tree to stand tall when storms arrive. In the same way, the spiritual stretching you experience in the dark is building endurance. It's building substance. It's building the capacity to carry what you prayed for. Because God will never give you a blessing that your character is too weak to sustain. He will never open a platform for you if your foundation is too shallow to hold it. He will never reveal you until He has fortified you. Sometimes in the dark, you lose things. Friends drift away. Familiar routines change. Old patterns no longer work. This loss is not rejection. It is refinement. God is removing what cannot go with you into the next season. He is stripping away what would weaken you, distract you, or derail you. Spiritual development often feels like destruction at first because God tears down what you have outgrown so He can rebuild you with greater strength. And yes, the dark season can be lonely. But loneliness is not the evidence of being deserted. Loneliness in these moments is often the sign that God wants your complete attention. He wants to reveal things to you that cannot be spoken over noise. He wants you to hear His voice without the interference of people who interpret your destiny through their limitations. He is reducing your circle to refine your ear. There are prayers you prayed that you thought God ignored simply because you could not see Him answering them. He was working all along, underground, behind the scenes, where human eyes cannot see. He was aligning opportunities, positioning people, removing obstacles, and preparing the path. But most importantly, He was preparing you, because what God is taking you into requires a version of you that is stronger, wiser, more stable, more spiritually grounded than the version that entered the dark season. The dark is where faith becomes real, not the kind of faith you talk about, the kind of faith you live through. It's the place where you learn to lean on God instead of your own understanding. Place where you stop depending on feelings and learn to walk by spiritual truth. Place where you stop panicking over delays and start trusting divine timing. When you emerge from this season, your confidence will not be in circumstances or people, but in the God who carried you when you couldn't see where you were going. You become unshakable because once you have survived seasons where you couldn't see, seasons where you couldn't understand, seasons where you felt forgotten but still held on, you gain a spiritual strength that light cannot take away. You emerge with clarity, with authority, with purpose. You step into the next chapter not timid, but prepared, not fragile, but fortified, not insecure, but deeply rooted. If you find yourself in a dark season right now, do not panic, do not curse it. Do not assume the worst. You are not buried, you are planted. You are not forgotten, you are being cultivated. You are not stuck, you are being shaped. The darkness around you is not the end. It is the workshop of God. And when the time is right, when your roots are deep enough, when your spirit is strong enough, when your heart is healed enough, He will bring you out into the light, ready for what He designed you to carry. There are seasons in life when it feels like the world has moved on without you. You look around, it seems as though everyone else is advancing while you are stuck in one place. Doors that once promised opportunity stay closed. Dreams that once felt near seem distant. You begin to wonder if you've been overlooked, abandoned, or even forgotten. But here is a truth that can change everything. Being hidden does not mean being forgotten. Sometimes God chooses to hide you for a purpose far greater than your understanding. He hides you not to punish you, but to protect you. He hides you not to leave you behind, but to prepare you for a destiny that cannot be rushed. Life can be loud, chaotic, and distracting. And there are forces, visible and invisible, that would try to derail your progress if you were exposed too early. The hidden seasons are not a time of weakness. They are a time of divine protection, divine preparation, and divine positioning. Being hidden is not a sign of neglect. It is a sign that God is at work in ways you cannot yet see. When you are hidden, you are safe from people who might misunderstand your growth, from critics who would discourage your spirit, and from opportunities that are not yet right. God is not absent. He is present in the quiet, shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and refining your purpose. Think about a master craftsman. He does not reveal a work in progress until it is ready. The sculpture is hidden under cloths. The painting is still in the sketch phase. Building is under construction. No one sees the process, but every step is intentional, precise, and necessary. Similarly, God does not reveal the full measure of your potential until He has completed the internal work required for you to sustain it. The hidden season is His workshop. Being hidden also tests the depth of your faith. When everything seems delayed, when the world seems to move forward without you, you are forced to learn to trust God without relying on immediate evidence. It is easy to believe when doors are open and life is smooth. True faith is forged in the unseen, in the quiet, in the waiting room of God. When you trust God in the hidden season, you are training your spirit to rely not on circumstances or human validation, but on divine truth. The hidden seasons are where God teaches patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, hidden seasons demand that you slow down and allow God to work in His timing. This is where your character is tested, your persistence is refined, and your integrity is proven. You cannot fake growth in hidden seasons. You cannot bypass development with shortcuts. You either learn to endure, to trust, and to believe, or you falter under pressure. And when you choose endurance, you are being prepared for the revelation of your purpose. Many people mistake being hidden for being forgotten because they measure progress through comparison. They see others' achievements and assume that their own waiting means stagnation. But comparison is the enemy of peace. God does not operate according to your timeline or anyone else's. He works according to His divine plan. Hidden seasons are often where He quietly lays the foundation for monumental breakthroughs. Being hidden also allows God to purify your heart and mind. The world is full of distractions, false friendships, and influences that can derail your destiny. When you are in the quiet, you are protected from these. Your mind is sharpened, your spirit is strengthened, and your heart is aligned with God's vision. These hidden seasons are not empty. They are filled with divine lessons, spiritual growth, and preparation for a life that will one day be seen and celebrated. God also uses hidden seasons to build resilience. When you feel unseen, overlooked, or undervalued, it is an opportunity to develop inner strength that does not depend on recognition. Your value is not determined by applause, attention, or acknowledgement. Your worth is rooted in God's love and purpose for your life. In hidden seasons, you learn to appreciate your own growth, to rely on your own faith, to cultivate a resilience that will carry you through every challenge ahead. Being hidden does not mean stagnation, it means incubation. Just as the seed lies beneath the soil unseen while it gathers strength, your life is being cultivated beneath the surface. Every prayer, every tear, every struggle, every moment of patience is contributing to your development. The hidden season is where your potential is being multiplied, your vision clarified, and your readiness established. God is not asleep. He is actively working in ways you cannot yet perceive. Finally, being hidden guarantees the impact of your revelation. When God finally brings you into the light, you will shine not because of temporary circumstances, because of enduring preparation. You will enter your season fully formed, fully equipped, and fully aware of your strength. Your hidden season ensures that your emergence is not fleeting, but lasting, powerful, and purposeful. You will no longer rely on external validation because you will know that your worth, your purpose, and your destiny have been carefully cultivated in the hidden place by a God who never forgets. Being hidden does not mean being forgotten. The silence around you is not emptiness. It is the sound of divine preparation. The darkness is not abandonment. It is a sacred space where God develops your faith, patience, resilience, and purpose. The waiting is not stagnation. It is the cultivation of a strength and vision that can only come from divine timing. Do not be anxious about being overlooked or delayed. Do not let the seeming inactivity of your life discourage you. God sees you. God knows you. God remembers you. And in His perfect timing, He will bring you from the hidden place into the light, not incomplete, not unprepared, not fragile, but whole, strong, and unstoppable. There are times in life when the crowd disappears, when the noise fades, and when you feel as if the world has turned away. You look for guidance, for affirmation, for encouragement, and sometimes you find only silence. You may feel abandoned. You may feel invisible. You may even feel as if you are losing your way. But this silence, this separation, this isolation is not a punishment. It is a preparation. Growth requires isolation. Isolation is misunderstood in our world. Many people fear being alone because they mistake loneliness for abandonment. They mistake quiet for inactivity. But God often isolates the ones He is preparing for greatness. He takes you out of the crowd not to neglect you, to teach you lessons that cannot be learned in the presence of others. In isolation, your character is tested. In isolation, your faith is stretched. In isolation, your heart is refined. Think about the process of growth in nature. The seed must be buried underground before it can grow. The caterpillar must hide in the cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly. The diamond must endure crushing pressure before it shines with brilliance. In each case, isolation is not weakness. It is the essential condition for transformation. In the same way, your season of isolation is where God molds you into the person He intends you to become. Growth requires isolation because it forces you to confront yourself. When you are surrounded by people, their opinions, their expectations, their noise, and their distractions can cloud your purpose. They can influence your decisions and dilute your vision. But in isolation, you are stripped of all that external influence. You are forced to look inward, to wrestle with your fears, to examine your motives, and to listen for the voice of God without interference. This is where authenticity is forged. This is where courage is born. This is where true strength develops. Isolation teaches patience. The world values instant gratification, quick results, visible progress. But God values depth, substance, and lasting transformation. When you are isolated, you learn to wait. You learn to endure delays. You learn to trust that progress is happening even when it is invisible. You discover that life does not have to be loud for it to be significant. And in the quiet, you cultivate the spiritual discipline and endurance that will carry you through the storms of life. Isolation also forces dependence on God. Many people rely on external validation, friends, family, colleagues, even social approval to measure their worth and progress. But when you are isolated, those sources of validation disappear. You must learn to depend on God alone. You must learn to trust His timing, follow His guidance, find your strength in Him. In this solitude, your faith becomes personal, intimate, and unshakable. You are no longer influenced by the praise or criticism of others. You are shaped by the wisdom of the one who sees the beginning and the end of your life. Isolation encourages creativity and clarity. When distractions are removed, your mind becomes a fertile ground for insight and innovation. In the absence of noise, you can hear the whispers of inspiration. In the absence of interference, you can discern the path you are meant to take. Great ideas, great strategies, and great breakthroughs are often born in these silent seasons. Isolation is the quiet laboratory where God works on your vision and purpose, preparing you for the impact you are destined to make. Growth requires isolation because it builds resilience. In the quiet, you face your fears without escape. You confront challenges without assistance. You learn to stand firm when no one is watching. You are tested in ways that cannot be faked or avoided. And when you emerge from this period, you carry a strength that is unshakable. You are no longer fragile. You are no longer dependent on circumstances or applause. You are fortified, prepared, and ready for every opportunity that lies ahead. Isolation also helps you prioritize what truly matters. In the absence of the crowd, you see more clearly who you are, what you want, what you are called to do. Superficial relationships fall away. Trivial concerns fade. Your purpose becomes sharper. Your focus becomes stronger. Your determination becomes unstoppable. God uses isolation to align your life with His plan, to remove distractions, to sharpen the vision that will define your destiny. It is important to understand that isolation is not permanent. It is a season, not a sentence. Just as a seed eventually breaks through the soil, just as a butterfly eventually emerges from the cocoon, just as a diamond eventually shines after enduring pressure, you too will emerge from your season of isolation. And when you do, you will be stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you ever could have been if you had rushed through life surrounded by noise. Isolation teaches you self-reliance. You learn that you do not need constant affirmation from others to succeed. You learn that your worth is not tied to external recognition. You learn that God is sufficient and that His power in your life is greater than anything you could achieve on your own. In isolation, you discover your true potential, your true strength, and your true purpose. Finally, isolation is the birthplace of greatness. Every leader, every visionary, pioneer, every spiritual giant has experienced periods of isolation. They have spent time in the quiet, away from distractions, preparing for the moment when they would step into their destiny. Growth requires isolation because it is in solitude that God imparts the vision, the wisdom, preparation necessary to make a lasting impact. So if you find yourself alone, unseen, or misunderstood today, do not despair. Do not mistake isolation for abandonment. Do not fear the quiet. This season is shaping you. It is refining you. It is preparing you for a life of influence, purpose, and extraordinary impact. God has not forgotten you. He is working on you. He is growing you. He is equipping you. And when the time comes, you will emerge from this period of isolation with strength, clarity, and readiness that will leave the world in awe. Growth requires isolation. It always has, and it always will. The question is not whether you are ready to endure this season. The question is whether you are willing to trust God through it, learn from it, and allow it to transform you into the person you were created to be. Embrace the quiet. Welcome the solitude. Know that your isolation is not empty. It is full of divine purpose. There are times in life when it feels as though nothing is happening. You pray, you believe you take steps, and yet the visible results seem absent. Doors remain closed. Progress feels slow. The world appears to be moving on without you. This is not the time to panic because the unseen work of God is always more powerful than the visible. God works beneath the surface. Just because you cannot see it does not mean He is not moving. In fact, it is often in the hidden, invisible, underground seasons that He does His greatest work. Think about a seed planted in the ground. When it is buried, it seems dormant. Nothing appears to be happening on the surface. But beneath the soil, roots are growing, spreading, and anchoring. Strength is being built before the sprout ever emerges. Similarly, God's work in your life is often beneath the surface, unseen by human eyes, but deeply transformative. What you see with your eyes is rarely the full story. Faith is required to believe in the unseen, to trust that God is at work, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. God works beneath the surface to strengthen you. There are skills, disciplines, and spiritual muscles that you cannot develop in public. Patience, endurance, humility, faith, and resilience grow quietly within you when you cannot be distracted by praise, recognition, or comparison. In solitude and silence, He teaches you how to handle success before it arrives, how to navigate challenges before they appear, and how to remain steadfast when the storms of life rage around you. Beneath the surface, He is building the foundation that will support the weight of your destiny. Sometimes the reason you feel overlooked or delayed is because God is preparing you in ways that cannot be rushed. Your timing may feel slow, but His timing is perfect. Beneath the surface, He is orchestrating encounters, aligning opportunities, and shaping experiences that will converge at exactly the right moment. Just as the roots of a tree spread underground before the branches reach the sky, your growth and preparation often happen in places where no one can see. Trust that the unseen work is just as real, just as crucial, and just as divine as the visible results you desire. God works beneath the surface to refine your character. Life will reveal itself in stages. Your ability to handle what comes next depends on who you are becoming now. If God revealed your destiny before your character was ready, crumble under pressure. That is why the invisible seasons are vital. Beneath the surface, He is pruning, reshaping, and refining you. Weaknesses are being addressed, habits are being corrected, and strengths are being strengthened. It is a quiet, sometimes uncomfortable process, but it ensures that when you step into your purpose, you will do so with integrity, resilience, and wisdom. Beneath the surface, God is also protecting you. Everything you desire is meant for you yet. Not every opportunity, relationship, or breakthrough is time for your season. God's unseen hand is at work, keeping harmful influences at bay, delaying what would harm you, and positioning what will benefit you. When things feel delayed, when prayers seem unanswered, remember that God's protective work is invisible. Sometimes being unseen and unnoticed is a shield, a divine cover that allows you to grow safely without interference. God works beneath the surface to cultivate faith. Faith is not built in moments of clarity and ease. Faith is forged in the dark, in the waiting, and in the uncertainty. When you cannot see the path ahead, when circumstances are confusing, and when hope seems distant, that is when God is teaching you to trust Him without relying on what you see. Beneath the surface, He is showing you that He is faithful, that His promises are true, and that His timing is impeccable. When the breakthrough comes, your faith will be strong, unshakable, and grounded in experience, not just belief. God's invisible work often involves preparation for influence. He is cultivating not only your skills and wisdom, but also your capacity to impact others. Your life is being shaped to carry more than just personal success. It is being prepared to inspire, uplift, and lead. Beneath the surface, experiences are being aligned, lessons are being taught, and strength is being instilled. By the time you step into your season of influence, you will have the maturity and depth required to lead with vision, compassion, and authority. It is also beneath the surface that God builds resilience. Life will challenge you, test you, and stretch you beyond your comfort zone. The invisible work He does now is what equips you to withstand trials later. Just as the pressure beneath the surface strengthens a diamond, so does the hidden work of God strengthen your spirit. You will emerge from these seasons of unseen preparation, able to face life with confidence, not because it will be easy, but because you have been formed to endure, to persevere, and to triumph. One of the most profound truths about God's hidden work is that it is meticulous and purposeful. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Every prayer, every tear, every struggle, every delay, and every period of waiting is intentional. Beneath the surface, God is weaving together a tapestry that your eyes cannot yet comprehend. When the timing is right, when the foundation is secure, when your spirit is prepared, the results of this invisible work will burst forth in ways that will astonish you and others. You will realize that nothing was wasted and everything was necessary. So if you are in a season where you feel invisible, overlooked, or delayed, remember this. God is working beneath the surface. He is preparing, protecting, refining, and strengthening. Your season of invisibility is not a sign of stagnation. It is a sign of preparation. Your unseen work is creating the conditions for your greatest breakthrough. The roots are growing. The foundation is being laid. Character is being strengthened. And when the time is right, your life will emerge fully formed, powerful, unshakable, ready to carry out the purpose that has been silently cultivated in the hidden places. Do not despise the hidden seasons. Do not fear the unseen work. Embrace it, trust it, and lean into it. The surface may seem quiet, but beneath it, God is moving mountains, preparing miracles, developing a life that will not just succeed, but inspire, influence, and leave a legacy. Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. There are seasons when everything seems unclear, when the path ahead is shrouded in shadows, and when the weight of uncertainty feels unbearable. It is in these moments, in the darkness, in the silence, in the waiting, that God does some of His deepest work. The dark builds spiritual endurance. It is not a punishment, it is a preparation. It is not a setback, it is a setup. Spiritual endurance is not forged in comfort. It is not cultivated in ease. True endurance emerges only when life pushes you to your limits, when storms rage, when doors remain closed, when disappointments pile up, when faith is tested by circumstance. The dark season is the training ground for this endurance. It is the place where your spirit is stretched beyond its natural capacity so that you can learn to rely fully on God rather than on your own strength. Endurance is more than patience. It is more than waiting. Spiritual endurance is the ability to remain steadfast, faithful, unshaken even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It is the strength to continue pressing forward, to continue believing, and to continue trusting when you cannot see the finish line and the dark season. That time when you feel unseen, unheard, and alone is where this endurance is forged. Consider the process of refining gold. Gold is placed in fire not to destroy it, but to purify it. The heat exposes impurities, removes weakness, and strengthens its integrity. In the same way, the dark seasons of life test your faith, reveal areas that need growth, and prepare your spirit for what is to come. Without the darkness, spiritual endurance cannot develop fully. Fire of testing is necessary to strengthen the foundation of your faith so that when the storms of life arrive, you will not crumble. The dark builds endurance because it teaches reliance on God. When everything is visible and comfortable, it is easy to lean on your own understanding, your own strength, and your own resources. But in the shadows, when options seem limited and help seems absent, you are forced to depend entirely on the one who sees what you cannot see. It is in these moments that your trust in God deepens, that your prayer life matures, and that your faith becomes a living, breathing power that sustains you when circumstances are harsh. Endurance also grows in the dark because it challenges your perspective. When life feels heavy, it is easy to focus on pain, delay, or disappointment. But the dark is an invitation to see beyond the immediate struggle. It calls you to believe in the unseen, to hope in what is not yet visible, and to embrace the promise of what God is doing beneath the surface. In darkness, you learn that your current discomfort is temporary, your challenges are not permanent, and your faith is the anchor that keeps you steady through every storm. Spiritual endurance is built through consistency in adversity. The dark teaches you not only to persevere, but also to persevere wisely. It shows you that persistence without purpose is futile, but persistence guided by faith is unstoppable. Every prayer offered in the quiet, every act of patience, every decision to hold on despite the odds contributes to the formation of a spirit that can withstand trials, overcome setbacks, endure pressure without breaking. Endurance is also strengthened by the lessons the dark reveals. In times of ease, lessons are subtle. In times of challenge, lessons are unavoidable. The dark exposes weaknesses, tests priorities, and confronts fears. It forces you to confront who you really are, who you are becoming, what you truly believe. The pain, the delays, and the obstacles are not arbitrary, they are purposeful. They are the tools God uses to mold a resilient, faithful, and enduring spirit that will thrive long after the darkness has passed. Another way the dark builds endurance is by teaching the value of perspective. When you are in a season of waiting or suffering, it is easy to focus only on what you do not have. Spiritual endurance comes when you learn to see what is being formed in you, what is being taught to you, and what is being prepared for you. You begin to understand that the invisible work is far more important than immediate gratification. You learn to trust that the process, the pain, and the patience are all shaping a character, faith, and life that can withstand anything. Endurance gained in darkness also builds confidence. Once you have learned to stand firm without external validation, without visible results, and without constant encouragement, you develop a confidence that cannot be shaken. This is the kind of confidence rooted in experience, shaped by challenges, and validated by faith. The storms you endure, the waiting you survive, the pressures you overcome become the proof of God's faithfulness and the strength of your spiritual endurance. Furthermore, dark builds endurance by teaching you hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is the confident expectation that God's promises are true. Even when circumstances suggest otherwise, the more you practice hope in darkness, the more unshakable it becomes. You learn to walk by faith, not by sight, to hold on to God's promises even when the world says they are impossible. Spiritual endurance is incomplete without hope. The dark is the crucible where hope is tempered, strengthened, and made unwavering. The culmination of endurance built in darkness is spiritual maturity. A mature spirit is not fragile. It does not panic in uncertainty. It does not collapse under pressure. It is rooted in faith, seasoned by patience, fortified by trials, and guided by divine wisdom. The dark may feel long, lonely, and painful, but it produces a resilience that cannot be faked or bought. Endurance forged in darkness carries the ability to face future trials with confidence, to persevere against obstacles without giving up, to remain steadfast no matter what storms arise. So if you are in a season of darkness today, remember this: your endurance is being built. Every challenge you face, every delay you experience, every lonely moment you endure is shaping a spirit that will stand when others fall. The dark is not a punishment, it is a preparation. It is not a setback, it is a setup. Spiritual endurance cannot be gained in comfort, ease, or applause. It can only be forged in the quiet, in the shadows, and in the trials that push you beyond what you thought you could handle. Embrace the darkness. Trust the process. Lean into the lessons. Your endurance is growing. Your faith is being strengthened. Your spirit is being prepared. And when the darkness lifts, you will emerge not only victorious, but unshakable, unbreakable, and ready to fulfill every purpose God has placed within you. There is a rhythm to life, a sequence, a divine unfolding that cannot be rushed, hurried, or bypassed. Yet, in a world obsessed with instant results, immediate gratification, and visible progress, it is easy to grow impatient with the journey. We look at where we are and compare it to where we want to be, forgetting that the process is sacred. Every step, every struggle, every season, every delay, every hidden moment is part of a divine design. And it demands reverence. The process is sacred because it is where God does his most intimate work. You may feel frustrated that your prayers are not answered immediately, that doors have not opened, or that recognition has not come. You may feel invisible, overlooked, or forgotten, but the truth is these seasons are not empty. They are a workshop, a sanctuary, a place where God shapes, refines, and molds you into the person you are meant to become. The journey, the struggle, and the waiting are not inconveniences. They are instruments of transformation. Every masterful creation, every diamond, every oak tree, every life of influence begins with a process that cannot be rushed. The diamond cannot emerge without pressure. The oak tree cannot grow without enduring storms. The artist does not reveal the masterpiece before it is complete. And neither can your purpose, your destiny, your breakthrough manifest before the process has done its sacred work. To disrespect the process is to risk missing the fullness of what God intends for you. Process is sacred because it shapes your character. Life's difficulties, setbacks, and hidden seasons are not random. They are deliberate. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to develop patience, resilience, humility, and strength. Every moment of waiting is an invitation to trust, to grow, to rely on God rather than your own understanding. Character cannot be built overnight, and purpose cannot be realized in a day. It is through the sacred work of the process that your heart, mind, and spirit are prepared to carry what God has for you. The process is sacred because it teaches you to value timing. In a world that wants everything now, learning to wait is one of the most powerful lessons of spiritual growth. God's timing is perfect, and the season of preparation is where timing is aligned. Opportunities are orchestrated and lives are synchronized for maximum impact. What seems like delay is often divine precision. When you rush, you risk missing the fullness of God's plan. When you honor the process, you ensure that what emerges is complete, stable, and powerful. Process is sacred because it cultivates depth. Superficial success is fragile, fleeting, and often unsustainable. True greatness, lasting influence, spiritual maturity come from depth. Depth of understanding, depth of faith, depth of experience, and depth of character. These qualities cannot be developed in haste. They require seasons of reflection, trials, waiting, and unseen preparation. In honoring the process, you honor the depth of your own development and the integrity of your purpose. The process is sacred because it teaches discernment. When you are in the midst of the journey, when you are growing, when you are being prepared, you begin to understand what matters and what does not. You begin to recognize true opportunities from distractions, genuine relationships from false connections, and divine direction from mere suggestion. Sacredness of the process is that it sharpens your insight, aligns your priorities, and equips you to make decisions that honor God's plan for your life. The process is sacred because it allows God to work in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Many times, we become frustrated because we only see the surface, the delay, the struggle, the uncertainty. But God sees the beginning, the end, every moment in between. He works invisibly, intricately, and intentionally orchestrating circumstances, aligning people, opening doors in His perfect timing. To honor the process is to trust that what is unseen is just as important as what is visible, and that God's hand is moving even when your eyes cannot detect it. The process is sacred because it produces perseverance. Perseverance is not learned in comfort. It is not developed when everything is easy. It is forged in the furnace of testing, in the shadow of waiting, and in the discipline of persistence. Every step of the journey, no matter how small or invisible, contributes to a spirit that will not quit. When you embrace the process as sacred, you embrace the very thing that strengthens your endurance, solidifies your faith, prepares you for the challenges that lie ahead. The process is sacred because it builds gratitude. When we respect the journey, we learn to appreciate the steps that bring us closer to our destiny. We begin to recognize that every challenge, every delay, every hidden season has contributed to our growth. Gratitude emerges not only for the outcome, but also for the preparation, the refinement, and the unseen work that makes the outcome possible. The sacred process teaches you to honor the path, not just the destination. Finally, the process is sacred because it guarantees readiness. When God finally opens the doors, when He reveals the blessing, when He manifests the promise, you will not only arrive, you will arrive prepared. You will have the character, the wisdom, the strength, the faith, and the maturity necessary to handle the responsibility, the opportunity, and the impact. The process is sacred because it ensures that you do not just reach your destination, you thrive there. So, if you are in the middle of a season that feels long, hard, or uncertain, remember this: the process is sacred. Every trial is a lesson. Every delay is preparation. Every hidden season is refinement. Every moment of struggle is a building block for your future. Do not rush. Do not resent. Do not despise the journey. Respect it. Embrace it. Trust it. The process is God's workshop. It is His classroom. It is His sanctuary. And when you honor it, you align yourself with His timing, His purpose, and His plan. You emerge not only stronger, wiser, more capable, but also ready to carry the fullness of the life, purpose, and destiny He has created uniquely for you. Your life is being crafted. Your destiny is being prepared. Your purpose is being sharpened. The process may be challenging, it may be hidden, and it may feel long, but it is sacred. And when you step into the fullness of what God is for you, you will realize that every moment of preparation was not wasted. Every delay was intentional. Every struggle was necessary. There is a truth in life that many people overlook. Destiny needs depth. It is easy to dream about success, to envision greatness, to imagine the accolades and the recognition. We see the light, the platform, the opportunity, and we want it immediately. But the truth is, you cannot handle the fullness of your destiny without the depth that preparation provides. Depth is what ensures that when your moment comes, you are ready, grounded, and able to endure the weight of what has been placed in your hands. Depth is cultivated in the quiet, hidden, often uncomfortable seasons of life. It is formed when you are alone with your thoughts, when you wrestle with your doubts, when you face challenges that seem insurmountable, and when you learn to trust God even when the path is unclear. The superficial cannot carry the substantial. Shallow preparation produces shallow results. Greatness, influence, and purpose require a foundation that is deep, firm, and unshakable. Destiny demands depth because it is more than a moment. It is a mission. Think about the oak tree. Its greatness is not measured by how quickly it rises, but by how deep its roots grow. The storm may come, the wind may blow, the pressure may try to shake it. Those deep roots hold it steady, grounded and immovable. Your destiny is like that oak tree. The visible success, the recognition, the breakthrough, the opportunities is built upon roots that grow quietly, often unseen during seasons of preparation. Without depth, your destiny cannot withstand the storms of life. Depth is formed in struggle. Every trial you endure, every disappointment you experience, every delay you face, every heartbreak you survive adds a layer of substance to your character. These experiences are not just obstacles, they are instruments of preparation. They teach endurance, humility, patience, and resilience. They shape your character and expand your capacity to lead, to influence, and to impact lives. Depth is not convenient, easy, or comfortable, but it is necessary for the destiny that is waiting for you. Depth also comes from introspection. To understand your purpose, to recognize your calling, and to embrace your destiny, you must be willing to look within. You must confront your fears, acknowledge your weaknesses, and face the parts of yourself that need refinement. Depth is developed when you stop running from your own reflection and begin to engage with the truth of who you are. It is in these intimate moments of self-examination that the strength, wisdom, and clarity needed for your destiny are forged. Destiny requires depth because it demands endurance. The path to your purpose will not always be smooth. There will be obstacles, delays, and opposition. Depth, you will falter at the first sign of pressure. Depth equips you with patience and perseverance, giving you the inner resources to continue moving forward when everything in the world seems to be against you. Depth allows you to rise above temporary setbacks and to see beyond immediate circumstances to the ultimate fulfillment of your destiny. Depth also ensures that your destiny is sustainable. Many people achieve fleeting success because they are unprepared for the weight of what they have been given. Fame, influence, and opportunity can be dangerous if you lack the depth to manage them. Depth provides wisdom, balance, and stability. It gives you the ability to handle success with grace and challenges with faith. It ensures that when your moment arrives, you are not only ready to receive it, but ready to steward it responsibly with integrity, humility, and purpose. Destiny needs depth because it is meant to impact more than just your life. Your purpose carries influence, and influence carries responsibility. Those who affect others are tested in private, often in ways the world cannot see. Depth prepares you to handle that responsibility with discernment and wisdom. It equips you to make decisions that honor your values, protect your character, and maximize your impact. Shallow preparation leaves you vulnerable to mistakes, misjudgments, and compromises that can derail your mission. Depth is what protects the legacy that your destiny is meant to leave. Depth also cultivates humility. The more you grow inwardly, the more you recognize that your strength does not come from your own efforts alone. You learn dependence, patience, the value of guidance from a higher power. Depth teaches that destiny is not simply a product of talent, luck, or ambition, but a combination of preparation, discipline, endurance, and divine timing. The deeper you go, the more grounded your confidence becomes, not in what you can do, in who is leading you in the preparation you have endured. Depth is also cultivated through sacrifice. To gain the fullness of your destiny, there are things you must give up, moments you must endure, and comforts you must leave behind. You cannot develop depth without making hard choices, prioritizing wisely, and sometimes walking alone. The sacrifices you make are not meaningless. They are the tools God uses to stretch you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the weight of what you are called to carry. Depth requires surrender, discipline, and the willingness to endure in order to emerge prepared. Finally, depth is sacred because it ensures readiness. The time will come when your moment of revelation arrives. The opportunity, the breakthrough, the platform, or the blessing will appear. When it does, the depth you have cultivated will determine whether you are able to carry it. Those who have prepared deeply are equipped to sustain impact, navigate challenges, inspire others, and fulfill their purpose with excellence. Destiny needs depth because without it, the promise may overwhelm you, the responsibility may crush you, the opportunity may pass through your hands without being fully realized. So, if you are in a season that feels slow, challenging, or hidden, remember this: every moment of preparation, every lesson, every struggle, every delay, and every quiet season is adding depth to your life. Do not rush the process. Do not despise the waiting. Do not compare your journey to others. Depth cannot be fabricated, it must be cultivated. Depth cannot be rushed, it must be earned. Depth is the hidden work that ensures your destiny is not only realized, but sustainable, impactful, and lasting. Your destiny needs depth. The roots of your purpose must grow deep. The lessons, struggles, and preparation you endure are the water, the soil, and the nutrients that feed your roots. The storms you face are the tests that strengthen those roots. And when the time comes for your destiny to rise, those roots will hold firm, allowing you to stand tall, unshakable, and fully prepared to embrace the fullness of what God has called you to achieve. Life has a way of placing us in seasons that feel confusing, challenging, and sometimes even unfair. There are moments when the path seems unclear. The pressure feels overwhelming and the storms seem relentless. You may feel as though you are being tested beyond your limits. You may wonder why the breakthroughs haven't come yet, why the doors remain closed, and why your prayers appear to be met with silence. But there is a truth that can transform your perspective. You are being fortified for the future. Every challenge, every delay, every struggle, every quiet moment is not random. It is a preparation. Fortification is the process of strengthening, building resilience, and equipping someone to carry weight that is greater than themselves. The future that God has planned for you is immense, significant, full of responsibility. To handle it with excellence, integrity, and faith, you must be fortified. You cannot step into what God has prepared for you with the same mindset, same skills, or same capacity that you had yesterday. You are being refined, strengthened, and fortified so that when your season arrives, you will be able to withstand it, manage it, and thrive in it. Fortification process is not always comfortable. It often comes disguised as hardship, delay, or challenge. God does not fortify us in the spotlight. He does it in the quiet, in the shadows, in the testing seasons. Just like an athlete trains in solitude before the game, just like a soldier endures drills before battle, and just like a tree develops roots deep underground before reaching skyward. Your strength is being built where no one is watching. The hidden work is the work that prepares you to stand unshaken when the visible season arrives. You are being fortified for the future because the future carries weight. The responsibilities, opportunities, and influence that lie ahead will demand more than what you currently possess. You will need wisdom to navigate complex decisions, patience to endure difficult seasons, humility to manage influence, and courage to lead when fear surrounds you. Fortification equips you to carry these burdens with grace, faith, and resilience. Without it, you may falter, stumble, even fail to seize the moment when it comes. Fortification also teaches endurance. The storms, trials, and challenges you face today are not meant to break you. They are meant to strengthen you. Just as metal is tempered in fire, your spirit is strengthened in the heat of difficulty. Every test you endure, every obstacle you overcome, every setback you experience adds layers of resilience that you cannot acquire any other way. The future will bring pressures. Fortification you receive now is designed to ensure that you will not collapse under them. You are being fortified for clarity. Often, the future requires a level of discernment that can only be developed through preparation. As you are refined in the quiet and tested in the unseen, your perception sharpens. You learn to distinguish what aligns with your purpose from what does not. You develop the ability to see opportunities and dangers before others do. You gain insight into people, situations, and timing. Fortification is not just about strength, it is about preparing your mind and spirit to respond wisely when the future unfolds. The fortification process also cultivates patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, it is easy to grow frustrated when your progress seems invisible. God's timing is perfect, and He fortifies you not just for the moment, but for the entirety of what He has planned. Waiting is not wasted, it is essential. Every season of delay, every moment of silence, and every step of preparation adds to your capacity to handle the fullness of what is to come. Patience is a tool in the fortification process, teaching you to trust even when you cannot see. Fortification is often accompanied by refinement. God removes what is unnecessary, purifies what is weak, and strengthens what is vital. He allows experiences, relationships, and lessons to shape you in ways that cannot be replicated. Every heartbreak, every failure, and every difficulty carries a divine purpose. You are being refined for the future, strengthened for the challenges ahead, and equipped to carry the blessings and responsibilities that are waiting for you. You are being fortified for influence. Your future impact will extend beyond your own life. The leadership, guidance, inspiration you will provide to others require preparation. Fortification ensures that when you step into your position, you do so with integrity, wisdom, and understanding. You are being trained to influence with purpose, to lead with discernment, and to inspire with authenticity. Without fortification, influence can become overwhelming, misdirected, or destructive. With it, you become a vessel for positive change and lasting legacy. Spiritual fortification is also part of the process. Your faith is being strengthened, and your trust is being tested, and your reliance on God is being deepened. The future will demand that you walk boldly, make difficult decisions, and trust beyond what is visible. Fortification happening now builds a spiritual foundation that will allow you to face any challenge with confidence, to endure any trial with grace, and to embrace any opportunity with faith. Finally, fortification prepares you to receive your future fully. When the time arrives for doors to open, for blessings to manifest, and for opportunities to present themselves, you will not be caught unprepared. The strength, wisdom, endurance, patience, and discernment that God has cultivated in you will allow you to seize the moment with excellence. You will not stumble under the weight of your calling because you have been fortified in the unseen seasons, in the quiet moments, and in the testing times. So, if you are feeling pressure today, if you are experiencing delay, if you feel unseen, overwhelmed, or unprepared, remember this: you are being fortified for the future. Every challenge, every trial, every delay, every hidden season is part of the divine process that is preparing you to step into your destiny fully equipped. You are not falling behind. You are being strengthened. You are not forgotten. You are being readied. Trust the process. Embrace the preparation. Stand firm in faith. Every moment of fortification is purposeful. Every difficulty is intentional. Every season of waiting is shaping you into a person capable of carrying the future God has designed specifically for you. When the doors open, when the blessing arrives, when the opportunity manifests, you will be ready, not just to survive it, but to thrive in it, lead through it, leave a legacy that honors the preparation you have endured. You are being fortified for the future. Your strength is being built. Your character is being refined. Your faith is being strengthened. Your patience is being deepened. And when the time comes, you will emerge ready, unshackable, fully equipped to embrace the fullness of the life, purpose, and destiny that God has designed for you. There are seasons in life when you feel hidden, overlooked, and forgotten. You pray, you plan, you work, and yet the doors remain closed. You see others advancing, moving forward, and achieving their dreams while you feel stuck in the shadows. It's easy in these moments to feel abandoned, to question your worth, or to doubt God's plan. The truth is simple yet profound. When the time is right, God will bring you into the light. The light is not just about visibility. It is about revelation, alignment, and fulfillment. It is the moment when your preparation meets opportunity, when your endurance is rewarded, when the purpose God has planted in your heart comes to fruition. You are not being ignored. You are not being left behind. You are being prepared, refined, positioned so that when your season arrives, you will step into it fully ready. God does not bring things to light before they are ready. Just as a gardener does not harvest crops before they have matured, and just as a sculptor does not reveal a statue before the final chisel, God waits until every element of your life is in place. Timing is divine. Your breakthrough, your blessing, your victory, and your moment of recognition will not come too early or too late. It will come at exactly the right time. Perfect timing ensures that what emerges will be powerful, lasting, and purposeful. The process of waiting in the dark is not wasted. Every trial, every struggle, every period of uncertainty is a layer of preparation for the light that is coming. God uses these seasons to strengthen your faith, refine your character, build resilience, and clarify your vision. He is molding you, equipping you, teaching you lessons that cannot be learned in the brightness of success. When the light finally shines, you will not only be ready to receive it, you will be ready to sustain it. The light reveals what the darkness has been shaping. In the dark, you learn patience. In the dark, you learn endurance. In the dark, you learn trust. You learn that God's ways are higher than yours and that His timing is perfect. You discover that the unseen work, the prayers whispered in secret, sacrifices made without recognition, the faith exercised in private, has a power that is preparing you for the public season ahead. The darkness is never wasted. It is the soil from which your greatness grows. Stepping into the light requires readiness. Many people are frustrated because they see the potential of what could be, yet they are not ready for it. God knows that revelation before preparation can lead to failure, disappointment, and destruction. That is why He often keeps His children in the shadows until the moment is perfect. The lessons you are learning, the strength you are building, wisdom you are gaining in the hidden seasons are all part of your preparation to walk fully into the light. The light also serves a purpose beyond personal fulfillment. It is the space where your influence, impact, and legacy are magnified. When God brings you into the light, it is not just about you. It is about the people, communities, and generations that will be affected by your life. Your preparation in the darkness ensures that you have the depth, integrity, and insight necessary to handle the responsibilities that come with visibility, influence, and opportunity. You are being equipped not just for success, but for significance. Timing is divine, and it teaches trust. When you are hidden, it is easy to compare yourself to others, to question why your breakthrough has not arrived, or to grow impatient. But God's timing is never delayed. It is always perfect. He knows exactly when you are ready to handle the fullness of the blessing, exactly when your endurance will meet opportunity, and exactly when your preparation will align with purpose. Waiting is not passive, it is active trust. It is faith in motion. It is the acknowledgement that God is working even when you cannot see. Coming into the light requires faith. Faith that what has been hidden is still alive. Faith that what has been delayed is not denied. Faith that the work done in private will one day be recognized publicly. Faith that the season of darkness is not wasted, but necessary. Faith that God's plan is unfolding perfectly, even when it does not align with your personal timeline. This faith sustains you, strengthens you, and positions you for the moment when the light finally shines. The light is a culmination of preparation. Every prayer, every tear, every sacrifice, every lesson, and every act of endurance contributes to your readiness. When the doors open, the opportunity arises, or the breakthrough occurs, you will not be unprepared. You will not be overwhelmed. You will not falter. You will step into the fullness of your destiny because God has fortified you for this very moment. The hidden seasons were not a punishment. They were a divine preparation. Moreover, stepping into the light is not about ego or personal glory. It is about fulfilling God's purpose and reflecting His glory through your life. Visibility comes with responsibility, and God ensures that His children are prepared to handle both. The light allows your gifts, talents, and purpose to impact others. It allows your story to inspire. It allows your experience to become a testimony. God's timing guarantees that when you are revealed, you are capable of using the moment not for self-aggrandizement, but for kingdom impact. The darkness teaches lessons that can only be appreciated in the light. Once God brings you out, you will look back and understand why waiting was necessary, why preparation was essential, and why every challenge was a stepping stone. You will realize that the unseen work done in private, in humility, and in faith created a strength, wisdom, and resilience that ensures your success is sustainable. The light shines brighter because of the depth cultivated in darkness. So if you are in a season of waiting, uncertainty, or struggle today, remember this: when the time is right, God will bring you into the light. He has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. He has been working in ways you cannot see, orchestrating circumstances, aligning opportunities, perfecting timing. Your preparation, your faith, your endurance, and your integrity are all being refined so that when the light comes, you will step into it with readiness, strength, and purpose. Do not rush the timing. Do not grow impatient. Do not despair. The light is coming, and it will arrive at the perfect moment. The darkness has a purpose. The preparation has a purpose. The waiting has a purpose. When God finally brings you into the light, it will not only illuminate your path, but it will reveal the fullness of all that you have been cultivated to become. Trust the timing. Embrace the preparation. Stand firm in faith. And know with certainty that when the time is right, God will bring you into the light, fully prepared, fully equipped, fully ready to step into the destiny He has designed for you.